Who could beat Miyamoto Musashi? What we're going to do in this video is have a quick logic question about amount of times battled versus wins and undefeated champions, etc, etc. So stick with it for the video. But my name's Anthony Cummins and I'm the author of the Book of Bushido. So get yourself a copy of that because it's got a secret translation from Musashi in as well. Okay, so Hote Buddha, who's one of my shinobi soldiers, one of my guys here who goes around answering questions for me, he's asked a good question. And I did a video a while back saying no real martial art is infallible. You can't just learn a martial art and you're the best in the world and then nobody can beat you. So let's look at some things. So some questions for you. Who was Mike Tyson beat by? Who was he beat by? Who was Conor McGregor beat by? So these people, put the answers below for me. These people who actually go out and they are undisputed champions, you know, Iron Mike in his thunder, as it was called, you know, like bang, bang. People with like just knockout titles everywhere. They're hard in real life. They're hard in the ring. It's not just one of those, you know, wrestling, grappling things. It's like proper, full on. It's just anything goes, just bang, down you go. So, would Musashi continue to win if he'd have kept fighting? So the question becomes is you can't always just keep winning. Somebody eventually is going to get you. Unless your luck holds out. It can't be that there's one secret martial art technique. But then Miyamoto Musashi is said to have won 60 duels undefeated and killed men, and not always killing them though. He didn't always kill them, and you know, survived to his life and stopped challenging and done. Now, did Musashi do the very, very good thing and stop in his prime? Because now somebody who's more of a Musashi expert than me, please let me know. If I remember rightly, Musashi stops at the age of 30, did he not? Did he not stop battling at the age of 30? Or he stops doing battles and then just teaches? So is it that he stopped in his prime and he was the undefeated champion and everybody says, oh, he's never been defeated? Or did he keep going till the end of his days and he was still fighting? I'm not quite sure. Now, the reason I'm not sure is because to say anything with any sort of clarity on Musashi, there's a lot of research to do. Because it turns out most of the fights that we think are Musashi's are actually apocryphal, or they're sort of fictional. He never fought that person. That person wasn't even alive when they fought. Or he was 5 years old and he was 20 and he was like 68. You know, the idea is that, oh, these fought and he fought them. A lot of it comes from fictional stories later on. So some of them are real, some of them are not. Now, it doesn't mean he didn't have 60 fights. He says, so we know this because he says in his book, I've had 60 fights. And I'm undefeated. Now here's the question. Now we have to look at the word undefeated. Now I haven't checked it in Japanese, and I will do in the future. But basically, it doesn't mean he didn't lose, but he didn't win. There is the idea of there's the one guy he is meant to have matched with and there was a draw. So he's not undefeated. He's never been defeated, but he's not always victorious. So there's one point. The second point is, did he fight just people who are not good enough? He could have said, listen, so it could be like Mike Tyson going to a McDojo to, like, he said, Mike Tyson goes to 60 McDojos and said, right, who's your top black belt? And some guy waddles out and he's like, I'm the bang, down you go. Who's the next one? Bang, down you go. 60 individual matches with Mike Tyson at his peak versus the average McDojo black belt who goes once a week, yeah? Would Mike Tyson ever lose any of those fights? The answer is no, he would never lose those fights. So what the problem then becomes is, the people Musashi fought, were they excellent or were they considered excellent because in the world that they were in at that time, they didn't really have to prove anything. But that comes down to how much proof do we have for violence in early Edo, which probably has a lot of violence in early Edo. So we could probably say Musashi fought genuine fighters, not just McDojo heads. So we could then say, okay, Musashi beat genuine fighters. But he says himself, he says, they don't fight the way we used to do. The way we used to fight was realistic. Now it's more just about the flower, the fruit that you get. It's more about flower and not substance. It's like, I'm quoting him here from his book. Basically, he's saying there's all display and no substance. So I've gone along, battered them and showed them there's no substance. It might look good what you're doing, mate, but I'm going to knock you on your ass, yeah? So that's what he did. So would it be the case that, A, if Musashi carried on fighting throughout his life, which he may have done, I need that checking, would he have been defeated? Is it the fact that he actually did go through his life and was undefeated? Is it the fact that he was never going to be defeated if he did 1,000 matches? What do you think? What do you guys think? Who could have beaten Musashi? And I don't mean which samurai. I mean the idea of, would it be Mike Tyson knocking out 15-year-old boxers, 15-year-old lad boxers for all of time? Or is it the fact that he was just that good? What do you think? And what other logical ideas can we put in this? Get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido, and thank you very much to Hotai Buddha for his question, and for he always super thanks me. So if you would like to super thanks me, guys, it always helps. Everything keeps this channel going. All the best. The link to the book will be down in the description below.